So I kind of just realised at social events I was asking people I respect creatively the same questions over and over again about films. So I thought I would just, in an effort to make every part of my private life public, invite people, the people I ask them questions to a location to record their answers for the questions. So hopefully it gives you a kind of a view and a look into these kind of creative people's lives, and especially if you like their work, you can start to see kind of their influences, and maybe just gives you some recommendations too for films to check out. So we've got some really, really exciting, like, cool people to come on the very, very first one. Do you guys want to tell us who you are?
I'm Cassia Price.
Patrick Brooks.
And what do you guys do?
Right now, like, what are we?
Like,
what are our jobs?
what's your kind of your creative output? How would you define yourself?
At the moment, a writer and director.
Yeah.
I'm sort of coming back onto the scene at the moment, and I'm really excited about it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And Patrick Brooks?
This question wasn't in the pre-question.
It was not in the pre-questions.
I'm a filmmaker.
That's what he is.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I used the time to think about this.
I like that a lot. Yeah. So there are 10 questions that I've given to these guys before, and I guess we should just start with number one. Cassia, I'm going to ask you first. A while ago on Twitter, there was a really good thing called the Filmstruck 4, which are 4 films that define you, and you can interpret that however you want. So, Cassie, do you want to give us your Filmstruck 4, the 4 films that define who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the time when you tagged me in the hashtag,
Yeah.
I said Hot Fuzz, Skyfall, Inception, and Shakespeare in Love, and I stick by pretty much all of those. I think maybe Inception was me trying to be like, yeah, I like Nolan. And I went through a lot of other choices and thinking about the things that actually did kind of affect me and define me a bit more. And I kind of came up with probably The Parent Trap.
It's a great film.
It's a great film. It's a great film. We actually, my brother loved it so much that we ended up going to summer camp one summer.
Wow.
Yeah, in America, and it was the same. It was amazing. We didn't get I didn't meet my long lost twin, and I didn't meet I didn't get put in detention camp or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was surprisingly less shaving foam wigs put on and honey on the floor and whatever, which is disappointing. But I got the prize for most lost arrows in archery. So you win some, you lose some. Well, lost a lot actually.
Strong. So, do you want to go through why they're your 4?
Sure. Yeah. Hot Fuzz is my favorite film of all time. Probably the first 15 rated movie I ever watched. It took me a long time, probably after I was 15, to watch a 15 rated movie. I've still only seen one 18 rated film, I think, and that was in English class and was Titus Andronicus, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody. It was horrible to watch it, especially in the presence of your English teacher. Skyfall was the first film I went to see in the cinema twice. I love Bond. I was brought up on Bond. It's a fucking miracle I'm a feminist now, to be honest. God knows how much it influenced me so much, and I don't know how I have any self-respect. Yeah, I think Skyfall was it kind of reminded me of all that, and growing up with kind of Roger Moore jokes and stuff, and realising actually they could be good films as well as being just like jokey adventure films. With a lot of racism and other. Take your pick on the bigotry there. Yeah. Parent Trap I already talked about, but Shakespeare in Love I watched with my grandma and my mum. It's my dad's favourite film.
Okay.
I watched it with them, and that's also a 15. Actually, maybe that was the first 15 I watched. And had a complete, basically just very intense sexual awakening watching it, just like, oh my god, this is Tom Stoppard knows how to write a line, and Gwyneth Paltrow and Joe Fiennes know how to do the act. And I was completely astonished. I loved the fact that they had that moment where he still thinks, Will still thinks that Viola is Thomas Kent in the boat with the moustache. There's just brilliant lines. Geoffrey Rush saying it's a mystery. My dad still quotes it constantly. Whenever he doesn't know anything, in fact, it's just, it's a mystery. And it's like, that's not an excuse. Just because it's a reference doesn't make it an excuse. It's a gorgeous film, and I'm a Stoppard diehard fan, as Patrick knows, because he's wearing a T-shirt with evidence.
It's just meant to be an audio based.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I'll let you.
Describe the T-shirt.
It's a T-shirt of the play that Cassia and I were involved with at the Fringe a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's 2016.
And it's kind of a dark green.
It's a dark green. It's got a lovely window-based.
It's the play was Arcadia by Tom Stoppard.
It's a good play.
I'll give you his best.
It was good. It was very good.
Yeah, Emil very kindly flyed for us.
I did fly. I also
You did,
slept
and
on
you
the
slept
sofa.
on our kitchen floor
I did.
when the lights wouldn't turn off.
That's true. They would never sleep in halls, kitchens where the lights are sensitive to movement. That was nice. That was a very still sleep.
It was so hot.
It was great. It was, and there was like a building site right next to it, so you couldn't sleep with the window open in the morning.
It was the worst place.
It was.
Anyway, sorry.
Patrick Brooks, your film struck four. The four films that define
So
you.
this is a very cruel question, and I thought I had my four, and then I just spent like the last 10 minutes realizing that. But I'm just saying them. So probably, It's a Wonderful Life, Primer, Reservoir Dogs, and I'm going to go for Donnie Darko as the last one.
Interesting. Do you want to explain the picks?
So Primer is like a $7,000 time travel movie that was just.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it should be, well, it's like, it's 70 minutes and it's incomprehensible, but I watched it about 15 times, and it's just like the best thing ever, and it fuels a lot of my love of very low budget filmmaking, because it just proves that you don't need any money at all to do something very, very, very compelling. And
Who made it?
so the filmmaker was Shane Carruth, and he's very, like, literally no one has ever heard of him, but he is currently has a movie coming out starring Daniel Radcliffe and
Your fave.
I know, and like Tom Hiddleston, all that. It's like an insane cast, and I'm just like so excited that finally people are gonna give him some.
Oh,
Stuff.
I look forward to that.
But yeah, Primer's great. 2 was It's a Wonderful Life, which is my favourite film, and I think it's what's so great about it is that it goes from it's so dark and then it's so happy, and I think that's just like it kind of cheats in that it just has the most effect, because it gets, it's like the grimmest thing ever when he jumps off a bridge and then sees what his life would be like if he hadn't existed, and it's like I just love how dark it is, and at the end it's just like the most uplifting thing ever. I think it's just a very well made film. It's just great, and Jimmy Stewart is fantastic. And yeah, that one again, I just like saw it every Christmas, but got better every time I saw it.
When you watched it the first time, did you like it?
No, didn't understand it the first time.
Right.
But I was like 6. But then you think that you'd then write it off, but then I watched it again and I was like, oh no, this is good. Then Reservoir Dogs was the first 18 rated film I saw. I think it definitely does have an impact. The first time you're like, oh my god, it's blood.
The blood was not the issue in Hotel Centronicus, I gotta say.
But I just remember watching it and it's like getting to an ad break and just being like, this shouldn't be allowed. This should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to like have something be this tense and entertaining. And I just think it's a very, very good script.
You made your own homage to it as well, didn't you?
I did put it on as a play in Freshers, which was embarrassing.
I know, I really enjoyed it. I remember I came up to Cambridge to see it. It was great.
Yeah.
Well, Reservoir Dogs is like in the same way like Tarantino. A lot of Tarantino films, and the same way that Wes Anderson is like, it's a lot of people's like first like introduction to like filmmaking, like as an idea that you're not just like,
there can be a vision rather than just.
And you're very aware that like it's a film, but you're still enjoying it. Whereas like before, when you're a kid, when you're like watching stuff, like you don't really know like you know roughly people make it, but you sort of think.
Yeah, like, I didn't know the Parent
Yeah.
Trap was the same person, for example.
Right,
'Cause I
right.
was like 10.
Right,
I
right,
was
right.
like, wow, those twins. They were lucked out with
Sure.
those twins.
Sure. It's like so.
Although, but what I agree with you normally, but for me, the reason I like it so much is that I was still young enough that I didn't really intellectualize it, and I was just blown away by how visceral it was, and I was just like, because I didn't notice any of the techniques. I was just like, oh my god, he's cutting his ear off. That shouldn't be allowed.
But I mean, in more like the structure of it. Like you think about like I think it was the first of a film I saw that wasn't like this happens then this happens.
Yeah.
Like it makes
Yeah.
you really like
Sit up.
it pushes the like I don't know if there's the first one you've ever seen. It really pushes the boundaries of like structure for like a mind that is so used to like this happens and then this
Yeah.
happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. And they're just like, oh, I could watch it again and again. It's just the best film.
I've never seen a Tarantino movie.
Ever.
Ever.
Fair enough.
No.
Is there a reason you don't want to
No,
watch
no,
it?
it's just that, you know how, sometimes you've got a friend or you're going out with someone who's really into one type of film, one type of music.
Yeah.
Like, I've had people be really into, like, Pink Floyd or Goodfellas or, like, or, like, Flight of the Conchords, to be fair, or, like, Nolan. And I kind of just always assumed that would be someone that I would be, like, really tight with, who would be like, right, we've got to watch Tarantino.
Right.
But I've never watched them on my own time because I don't know whether I'd like them or not.
Sure.
So I've yet to.
I think they're a
Find
very
out.
difficult movie to make someone watch.
I
'cause
don't
you're
want
like,
to. Well, I would want to be made to watch it. I'm not going to watch it alone.
No, that's fair. That's very
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I genuinely wouldn't be able to predict your reaction.
Yeah, it's true. You will either really
think, yeah.
hate it or you'll really love it.
You're not going to be
Yeah.
like, oh, that was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've sort of. He's a bit of a nutcase, but there's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There've been stranger things have happened. I went to see Mad Max Fury Road by myself.
Wow.
Just a terrible idea. And
That is an intense.
and I came out of it so unbelievably shocked to my core.
Did you like it?
And then it was sort of matured in my head like fine wine.
Right.
After a couple of months, I was like, that is one of the best films I've ever seen. I
Wow.
love it.
Wow.
And by the way, same plot as Carol.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're going to have to unpack that.
Sorry. So I've got this theory of Inside Llewyn Davis, Carol, and Mad Max Fury Road, arguably The Hobbit. There and back again. Basically, they all go somewhere.
The Hobbit.
Useless, and then they go back again.
Hobbit
I don't
and
know.
Mad Max, yes, but how does Carol?
Carol, they like go on a road trip and then they get found out and then they go home. Llewyn Davis, he goes to like Chicago or whatever, and goes home. Nothing
You
happens.
need to make a video essay about this.
That is wow. I'd watch that video essay.
Okay, cool.
That's really amazing.
Actually, to be honest, I saw like maybe 1 and 3 of the Hobbit movies.
Okay.
Well, you
So
missed,
I
you
don't
didn't
know
miss
if
anything.
the middle bit.
Two,
No,
two-
right?
two is the best one. I
No,
think.
it's not.
What is the
Are
best
they all
Hobbit film?
rubbish? Like,
Isn't
the
2
first
the one with the
one?
weird gold where they like float in gold and it's not hot? And it's just like
Maybe 2 is the one that ends
One
with
was
like.
fun.
one was.
I like the song a lot.
The song is the best bit, and they put it in the
Song is
trailer, and I was
Are
like,
you
oh, it's
guys
gonna be
kidding?
great.
The
Yeah.
song.
What
when
was
the
the
when the
song?
dwarves
When the
are
dwarves, it's
singing.
fantastic.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
It's like
Guys,
I was like, it's gonna be like Lord of the Rings.
That's
That's like that when that I was
so
just like,
good.
oh.
That's the only redeeming feature.
It was so atmospheric.
Remember the first trailer?
Yeah, it was
I was
sick.
just like, this is gonna be amazing. And
I
then it wasn't.
looked up the lyrics and everything. Yeah, one of my favorite YouTubers did a cover of it.
I
And
like
the
the
smoke
Ed-
comes out of the chin.
I like the Ed Sheeran song at the end of the second one.
Me too.
That's
I
really
See
good.
Fire is a great song.
Yeah, but that's more because of Ed Sheeran's talent, I think.
No, I love any like the kind of weird folky fantasy thing. like fucking Reigns of Castamere.
That is a great song.
That is
I
a
listen
great
to that on my
song.
commute.
I
sometimes.
know. I like it. I
too.
like.
And I just like
listen
look around. I'm like, you're all
Yeah.
gonna die.
That's the most Patrick Brooks thing I've ever heard.
I,
in
li-
my
yeah,
life.
I listen to that like that's on my like
Yeah.
my mix on YouTube. Like it's like epic
It's like
hero.
sometimes just like yeah.
It's like epic hero voice of Reigns of Castamere.
So good.
I'm really into the like 9-minute orchestration of the finale of season 6 because it like
Oh,
Where
the
she's-
like
yeah,
the,
when,
the when Cersei is like
yeah when she's like plotting because it's like 9 minutes long and it builds up
Season
slowly.
6 is the latest one.
No, it's the one.
it was the one before. It was the episode where like okay, Game of
Without
Thrones
spoiling,
spoilers.
yeah.
Game of Thrones spoilers. It's the episode where the Great Sept. And
Oh, shit, yeah. Okay, cool.
Like that intro, because it's like almost silent, isn't it? And it's just that.
Yeah, but it gets by like minute 8. You're just like, oh my
Fucking
god.
so
Yeah, I
good.
bet that'd be great. Like, I don't run, but I bet it'd be great to run
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Like,
Even-
Pirates of the Caribbean, great to run to.
I like to listen to running music while sitting down
Yeah, me
because you
too.
get like twice the impact because you're not even.
Yeah, I used to do that. Like if you're doing an essay and you're sort of, you're just pounding out. You just got to get the word count.
You're just like I like songs where like scores or songs they use in films where like someone is like walking down the street like happily and
Me
like and listen to
too.
that. Like there's the one in Kick-Ass where it's like dun 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 and he's just like
yeah,
walking.
I mean, careful because we might
Oh, yeah,
encroach on a
copyright.
later. No, encroach on a later.
Oh shit! Okay,
question.
all right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, well, this is pretentious, but I was thinking about recently how I was trying to work out whether the fact that we now kind of soundtrack our lives to music because is it because we watch it in films where people are walking down the street looking happy and you hear music, or is it because we now can do that by putting earplugs in our ears and then walking down the street?
I think because of films. I think because I don't. My iPod doesn't work. So I just as I'm like sometimes when I'm doing stuff I'm like thinking of a piece of
Yeah.
music from a film.
So
like,
Emil's one of those enigmas. You're making a podcast, and yet you have an iPod that doesn't work, and a brick phone, a burner phone, basically.
it's a burner phone. Yeah, it's.
He's
I would
edgy AF, guys. This guy, you don't know what you're dealing with.
love it.
So then,
Last pick.
What was the
no,
other?
we've got 2 more.
Oh, you have 2 more. Sorry,
Yeah.
you said Prime or Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, no, we've had
we've had.
no,
Yeah, you're right.
we've had ones of them, yeah.
Then the last one, Donnie Darko, which
Yeah.
Oh, Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko was one of the first films I watched, and I was like, "Oh, this is a film," and I was
Right.
It like
Right.
blew my mind with the like. There's like a panning shot, panning montage, when you're like panning. It looks like it's going through all the characters. You got like Drew Barrymore, and then like the rabbit, just like with his broken mask, and it just like pans across. And there's what's the famous song?
Should have done your revision about that.
This is why you prepared.
That's why I prepared. It was
No, I'm gonna get it. Well, it's a really famous song, but anyway, that happens, and it was like the first montage where I was like, oh my god, they were like fading in, so they'd pan across and then hit a wall and then go into the next bedroom, and I was like, oh, that's such an effective camera move.
So it draws attention to the filmmaking.
It was more like I was alive enough to notice that I was watching a film,
Yeah.
and then I was still impressed by it, and it just got like Tears for Fears plays as they like spin upside down on a bus, and you're just like, oh, this is just like it just had an inventiveness that was. I was like, oh, this is a thing that people can do.
Is it Head Over Heels, Tears for Fears?
That's one of the tracks, but it's
Okay.
more famous than that.
Is it by NXS? Is it by The Church? Is it
It's like
soundtrack? There you go.
thank you.
Okay.
See, this is Mad World, obviously.
Oh my god, Mad World!
Yeah, Mad World play a cover of Mad, really
Shit.
famous. Mad,
Shit, yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like a meme now. Plays.
Wait,
and
isn't that's REM, the cover?
No, it's Tears for Fears cover it. in
Covering
this film.
REM. Isn't that REM?
Don't think it's REM, but I don't know.
It just
No,
sounds,
They do
Oh,
a
what-
piano
sounds
version.
dreary
Tears
like
for Fears
it.
do a piano.
Mad World. It's like Gary Jules.
No, yeah,
is
he
is
he
Oh,
covers
yeah,
Tears
yeah,
for
yeah.
Fears
right.
in Donnie. Yeah, right, and he does it like really sad piano. But I was just like, I was 14 and I was like, oh, the feels. It's
Yeah.
great.
You can cut all this out.
No, this is all great. I love all this stuff. This is all good stuff.
Cool. That's me.
Cool. I like that a lot. So I guess we should move on to question 2. Who is the director who will study in 50 years the same way we study like Stanley Kubrick and Alfred Hitchcock and Fellini? Who is the director we'll study in 50 years' time?
So I've never had any formal film education.
That's okay. Yeah.
So I've never studied any of those people.
Yeah.
So this was quite like I had to kind of work out what that meant before I sort of did this.
Yeah.
But the people that I kind of hope we would study, I mean there's people who kind of stick out sort of so much in my mind that you would look back on film legacy, like how Hitchcock made so many films.
Sure.
If you look at someone, I don't know, like Danny Boyle, who did like films of such range.
Yeah.
And then also like the Olympics.
Sure.
You do like I think I would be quite mystified in looking back on, because it's not Richard Curtis. Like he's kind of a one trick pony. Richard Curtis. Like there's a lot of different stuff going on, and I don't know. I've not seen a huge amount of his work, but and the other person who I think might be someone that we study in not the same way as Kubrick and Hitchcock and Fellini, but in a kind of as a turning point, weirdly, is Paul Feig. Feig, is it Feig?
Wow, huh, interesting.
Because recently, like he's basically enabled a lot of female American comedy to happen, and with Melissa McCarthy or not, and it like Bridesmaids kind of was a bit of a turning point as a film.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I quite enjoyed Spy and a lot of that stuff. And looking back on his like filmography, it's all quite like normal comedy stuff.
Sure.
But then something sort of changes.
Then Bridesmaids happens.
Happens,
yeah.
all right? Yeah. Actually, that was in the only bit of the 2 days of formal film education I've ever had. That was one that Bridesmaids we actually studied.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you like Bridesmaids?
I do like Bridesmaids. Yeah. It's not totally my sense of humour.
Sure.
Is that the bit where she...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
liked
not
it.
my Patrick's sense of humour, maybe not mine, but I love any excuse to have Rose Byrne in anything.
Yeah, she's great.
She's fucking amazing, and I really liked it.
That makes complete sense. Yeah, Danny Boyle's an interesting one. He the last thing I saw him do was he directed a kid's version of the Nativity on the West Bank in Israel.
What?
It was really
is so I can because you can't predict what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
That is exactly what you would predict he would do next.
It's true, and he's doing the next Bond film.
I know, and I'm
well.
quite excited.
It's great. You're right. It's very, very varied.
Will he finally bring the gay to the Bond? Because they've hinted at it for so long.
Yeah, I look forward to it very much.
Me too.
Patrick Brooks. Who do you think the director will study in 50 years?
You've made this question quite tricky by using as the reference points Kubrick and Hitchcock, because I think if there's one thing that it won't be is the same kind of people, I think, possibly. Which is a weaselly way of saying it.
Yeah.
Basically, my answer is P.T. Anderson to be boring and Greta Gerwig to be hopeful.
Yeah, I was going to say,
But I love P.T. Anderson.
Yeah, Greta Gerwig I had on my list as well. And then I had...
she's only made one film, so I feel bad for her.
Yeah, but she helped.
It was a good film.
And Mrs. America is fantastic as well.
That's true.
It was really fun.
That's very true.
And Frances Ha. We know we
Actually,
love
all the
That's the thing. Yeah, Frances Ha is it is a Noah
I
Baumbach
almost
film, but
prefer Mistress America.
It's a Greta Gerwig's film.
Have you seen Mistress America?
yeah, I've seen it.
So good.
I love it.
But Frances Ha is just so much it's just more. I just think I like her more as a character, and I like Frances more as a character.
Why do
than,
characters need to be
but
likable?
the character...
compelling and interesting. I do like the character of Mistress America, which I can't remember her
yeah.
name. But after a while, I was
so interesting.
I could spend more time with Frances.
Oh yeah, because
Mistress-
she's really flawed, and you aren't making the same mistake.
Yeah, I'm not a real person yet.
Yeah.
For me, Frances Ha felt more like a romanticised, not real person than Mistress America. Frances Ha felt like someone going, "Oh, I'm so flawed, but I'm still overall, I'm so full of life." Whereas Mistress America was like, "Oh no, actually, that person in real life doesn't go well."
I love that. Yeah,
And that's
I
what I thought
completely
was
agree with
more
you on
compelling.
this.
But
I love Frances Ha. I'm not.
Frances Ha is not a happy ending though.
It's so happy.
No.
They look at each spoilers for Frances Ha.
Frances Ha spoilers. Watch
Frances
get on
Ha.
that.
When
Pause
Thanos
this. Watch
clicks his
Frances
fingers
Ha.
at the end of Frances Ha, and one of the
But it's
You can say it.
it's I know I know what you mean, but I just think the whole thing about Frances Ha is when you sometimes life is a bit shit, and sometimes you just need a little bit of a rest, and then finally when you start
I guess
doing
my
things
problem
again,
in hindsight is that her Act 2 low point was going to Paris.
oh, it's such a low point though. It's
No, I
so
know,
depressing.
but
It's the most depressing view of Paris ever. Maybe I don't know if it's La Haine is not set in Paris, is it?
what's
La
that?
Haine- Have you ever seen La Haine?
No.
Nope.
La Haine? Oh, fuck. I can't remember if Paris.
Got
If
the wrong
it's set
guests
in.
on, mate.
It's in front.
I've only seen like 4 French films ever, and 3 of them are Les Choristes. So I'm.
I've seen Amelie and Irreversible.
Wow.
Oh, can I recommend La Boum de, which is a French teen comedy from the 80s, a sequel. Fucking best buildings Roman I've ever seen in my life. So good.
Are we allowed to swear on this podcast?
Absolutely.
We've sworn so much,
please
Patrick.
swear away. There's no kids watching this, I promise.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Wait, so talk about P.T. Anderson.
P.T. Anderson. Well, I think P.T. Anderson is boring because he's already like just like that.
Yeah, I guess you type in P.T. Anderson, PTA video essay. It's like every
it's like
fucking prick
in,
in
you
the
know,
world.
in the
Like-
in the lighting of. I just think, but I think I would always go to see anything he makes because I don't really understand it, which I think
Huh.
is
Do you
interesting.
mean
I don't know who he is.
he made like Phantom Thread and
I don't know. I don't know.
and
You'd like Phantom Thread, I think.
Phantom Thread's
Oh,
really
Phantom Thread. I thought you said Phantom Fred.
He's a ghost.
Is this like Casper the Friendly Ghost?
That's Phantom Fred.
Oh
Gage.
no. Okay, I know you're talking about that.
Phantom Fred Gage. No, like
I feel like what's his first name?
Paul.
Paul. Okay,
it's
so
Paul Thomas
it's
Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson. That now I understand. Okay,
Right.
cool. Yeah.
We're just being hip and P.T. Anderson. Just
P.T. It's P.T.
P.T.
All the like whenever you hear his name in like an interview with another director, they call him Paul Anderson because for him he's just like that. He's Paul Anderson.
What else he made?
Like
The Master.
The Master, There Will Be
Magnolia.
Blood, Magnolia, Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is a great film.
Yeah, actually, that's on the list.
I'd be very interested to hear what you think of Boogie Nights,
Boogie
Cassia.
Nights. So good.
Me? Yeah, I think I should. I think I'd like Boogie Nights.
What's your favourite PTA film?
Magnolia, but Phantom Thread was pretty much competing up.
Wow.
I really liked
what?
Phantom. I fucking.
He really did.
I
Do you
sat
know
in
he
the cinema
tweeted about it? I think.
laughing my head off, and I just
Laughing.
laughing.
Is it funny?
It's so funny.
It really is
it's a
funny.
dark comedy, right? It's a dark rom com.
Oh, that's so good.
It's
Because
a dark-
the trailers didn't make it seem
Well,
like that.
it's a dark rom com shot in the style of an incredibly worthy Oscar movie,
Oh, brilliant.
and it's just like that contrast is
That sounds
so good.
great.
Yeah, it's my least favourite PTA film. I have to be
Is
honest.
What?
Is that a bit like Three Billboards? Like,
No, because Three Billboards takes itself seriously.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Phantom Thread just doesn't.
Phantom Thread is
like-
not a drama; it's a comedy.
Oh, that's so
I-
good. Oh my
I
god, I
think-
gotta see this.
But also,
Sounds great.
but that's what he's so good is that you can genuinely have that. You can genuinely have an argument about what genre his film is because
That's
he's
great.
so hard to categorize, which I think is cool.
He doesn't really make like it's like he plays with genre like in a really, and I know that's such a like cliche, he plays with genre, but like
Yeah.
it like genuinely in a way which like
Yeah,
only
he doesn't
could
start
make
off
that.
saying, okay, I'm gonna make
Yeah.
a drama or a thriller or whatever.
It's more like even more than like I feel like someone like where you say like, oh, you can always know you're watching a Wes Anderson movie, but his style is very trying to do that. Like, whereas Paul Thomas Anderson, you would always know you're watching one of his films, but not because he's doing these stylistic things, just because every decision he makes is very unique, and so you wouldn't. The films are actually quite different, they've very much changed since his first one in a way that Wes Anderson hasn't really.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's what I found much more interesting because you can see that he's changing
Yeah.
rather than just being like, oh, I like symmetry.
I think that's that's a really compelling argument. I'm gonna go watch Phantom Thread.
He's yeah, but Phantom Thread
Start
for
with
me
Boogie
was
Nights,
just
though.
like
Okay, I'll start with
Boogie
Boogie
Nights is more fun.
Nights. Okay.
it's like yeah, I think Magnolia is my favorite of his films, but I think Boogie Nights is probably his best film. I think like it's just the way it is like, it just falls like so. It's like a Boogie Nights is like saying a word that rolls off your tongue. The way it just like.
But it's also
falls
it's like
for
it's,
you.
it's like 23 and you can really tell. And I think
Yeah,
the
it's
master
true.
is
Yeah, that's true. The
Master
master is so like crafted that you're just like fuck. Every like moment, the sound and like it's so like stitched together like patchwork.
music. Oh.
It's like is so beautiful. It's and it's kind of that's one of the like I always find his films are like kind of about they're almost like not the plots of them as not as worthy as the story he's telling. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know, yeah, he's better. He's so good at executing that he makes any story seem
Yeah.
like he's giving it too much. He's giving it too much effort, and you're like
yeah.
every single detail is so perfect that you're like most people just like it feels like most people just like bang it out when
Yeah.
actually it's really hard.
It's really hard.
You can do both at the same
It's really
time.
hard.
Hey.
That's strong.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. Okay, so the next question kind of a lead on from that, what is the best film of the 21st century so far?
This was the hardest question.
This is the worst question.
Oh, so this is the difference between Patrick and I.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
No, you've also insulted Emil's question.
Oh, yeah. This is the worst question of the quiz. In a good way.
It's really difficult.
So I wrote Wall-E.
Cool. Talk about Wall-E then.
I think that was actually one of those films like you guys have been talking about, where the first one where you're like, oh, this is making me think about the filmmaking,
Right.
which was weird because it's animated, and I think it was because of the silence. Like there's no speech for like most of the film, and you're not watching a silent movie. There's not captions. You're communicating through this little adorable robot, and how. I really felt pushed to how are they making me feel all of these like intense sympathies, and like watching making me feel like I'm watching a very sweet little love story when it's literally two robots and some people in floaty chairs. And it was also like intensely hopeful at the end. It's lovely. It also still seems very relevant. Incredibly scary, especially the job that I do at the moment, working with influencers. The idea that you've got the screen in front of you and you're just like, now we eat hamburger milkshake. It still seems very true, and probably will do for quite a long time.
Is it your favourite Pixar film?
Finding Nemo.
Cool.
Finding Nemo is my favourite.
But Wall-E is the best of the 21st century.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between my favourite and the best.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense. Yeah. And do you think it sums up nice, like, what this century has been so far?
Not necessarily. I basically look for hope wherever I can find it.
Sure.
And I'm a sucker for a happy ending, especially if it comes out of kind of extreme, I don't know, manufacture or whatever it is.
Sure.
The little plant at the end is so sweet. So I think it's one of those things that, if you can still give me hope at the end of a film about silent robots who just bleep, like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm sold. And also, yeah, if you can, cross the entire ocean and save your son in Sydney, you do that.
What's the name? P. Sherman.
P. Sherman, 42, Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Dory, one of the best characters ever created.
Ellen.
Good old Ellen.
Patrick Brooks, what's the best film of the 21st
That's a
century?
very difficult question. I can't stop thinking about... So someone called this film the best film of the 21st century. So
you're going to take it down.
So it's no. It's not my original thought, and it makes no sense for me to choose this one just because someone else called it that. But whenever I hear the question and then I try and think about other films, this film is always better. So I've got to say, Under the Skin by Jonathan Glazer, because it just, like, in terms of the raw, like, for me, it's the raw filmmaking that hasn't been done like that in the 20th century. I think it's a very uniquely modern film, and it's just like the beach scene where the like baby is left on the beach.
Yeah.
You're just like it just felt like it sears itself into your mind in a way that feels very, very appropriate for our age.
That's a really good answer.
And the score is fantastic.
It's like my favourite score of the 21st century. Like, my God, yeah. That's a real, yeah. That they're two kind of interestingly linked.
Both about humanity.
Films. Yeah,
and
both.
aliens.
Yeah. It's really
Isn't it all?
That's true. That's a really
Not Finding Nemo. That's not about humanity.
it's about
Fish.
That was the thing I saw when I saw Coco, I saw there was a Q&A with the director and the producer, and the producer is called Darla something, can't remember her name.
Darla!
And that is the reason they named
No.
yeah, that is the reason they named her Darla in the film as a joke.
Is she Australian?
No, she's not. They just like
It sounds like
it's
such a legit
an Aussie
Australian name.
But Yeah, and they wanted to, and she was like, apparently at first she was like not happy, and then like Brad Bird convinced her. It was like, no, it's really funny, and she was like, okay, maybe that was quite funny. I just thought it's a really cool
I love
story.
it. I also love the fact that in that film the fish are all inexplicably like American.
Yeah, it's nice. I do like it. I do like it.
Apart from no, they literally all are apart from the sharks.
Yeah.
Who are fish are friends, not food, who are also Australian.
And like the turtles are stoners. That is
That's
great
the
fun.
they're stoners. I thought they were just surfers.
Oh no, they're he's like, it's great. It's like right
my
the
God,
wave.
I'm
They're
so
kind of surface too.
Sheltered.
That goes on kind of nicely to the next question about music. What's your favorite use of music in a film ever? And this can be a moment of like a original score meld in with the images, or it can be the use of like a song in a film perfectly. It can just be any use of music within a film that's so powerful and really like work for you, because you know, film is, as is reported on every single website ever, 50% picture, 50% sound. It's a Spielberg thing, isn't it? Right? Or
It's really
like,
undercut yourself there.
Well,
That was
yeah,
quite a
mate.
good comment.
well, it's
What's yours? I want to hear Patrick's first.
Mine, I'm going to do two because I'm going to cheat because one of them I've already mentioned, but I have to say the Stuck in the Middle with You in Reservoir Dogs. I just think that scene is just manages to be incredible. Like, it makes you still want to dance even though someone is being tortured, which I think like it's just such a feat of human psychology
Sure.
that. And it's just such a catchy song, and just like he's just enjoying it so much that you can't help but enjoy it. And I think that's it. It's
Not the bit in Deathly Hallows Part 1 where Harry and Hermione
It was-
awkwardly
that's a
dance to the
close
radio.
third.
That is literally that. Definitely Harry's
I
Part 1
think
is the best.
if
Harry
mine
Potter.
had been
It is,
cutting
yeah.
off Harry's ear, I would much prefer that
Yeah,
scene.
I'm sure you would have.
It's interesting. The thing about that Reservoir Dogs scene is like, by enjoying the music, it makes you kind of complicit in
Exactly,
the act of
exactly.
violence. That you're just like,
You're just like,
why am I
yeah.
enjoying this music?
Also, like I recently watched. There's like a Robbie Williams music video where he just like takes all his skin off,
I know what that is. That's Rock DJ.
and it's just like
I was a massive
I hadn't
Robbie
seen
Williams
that
fan as a
before.
child.
And I was just like,
Just really scary.
it's so scary, but you're just like, you just groove it. It's,
Yeah, it's
there's
really
something
weird,
very
'cause
powerful
he's
about.
stripping. I remember being a kid and watching it because I was a really big Robbie Williams fan. I was like, I'd never heard of any other people in the world apart from like Billy Joel. So because this is the parents I grew up with, and I remember going on YouTube for the first time, typing in the letter tube, and then the first kind of things I was watching, I would type in Robbie Williams and be like, oh my god, it's Robbie Williams. And then Rock DJ, the music video for Rock DJ comes on, and there's all these people skating around.
Yeah.
And this is like, I don't know why I remember this. I watched this when I was like 11, and he's stripping. He's like taking his clothes off, and I was like, oh my god, this is so unbelievably naughty of me. I can't believe I'm watching this. And then it kind of goes on, and he's about to take his actual, like, his underwear off, and I was like, no, that's too much. I can't. And then later, a couple of years later or whatever, I kind of switched on. My dad's watching music videos on MTV or whatever, and changes channel, and he's taken his skin off, and I was like, that went a really weird way.
I just love that they pitched that, and he was
Yeah.
like, let's do it. And they've only got like 2002 level CGI, and so it's
really
like,
not
it's
good.
more
I've never
horrifying.
seen
in a
it.
You know
way.
what it looks like? It looks like the kind of old stuff in the Science Museum, of like
Right.
But like
Yeah.
dancing
But,
and
like-
glistening.
with the kind of muscles with the weird tendons and
Jesus
stuff.
Christ.
Yeah.
Well,
It's really weird.
I will watch
But
this.
the eyeballs were always the thing that I was freaked out by the most. Yeah, don't watch it, guys. There are better music videos out there. I don't.
love
Probably
that.
not by Robbie Williams, but
I love it.
I've forgotten the second one, so might as well go ahead, Cassie. 'Cause
okay.
I
Well,
should
mine
know
was
that one.
You do remember? You do remember?
No, but I'll remember it
When
in
I'm
the next
saying
minute.
So it was really easy for me. Again, this is something that was some of my upbringing probably. It's not all of the Bond songs, surprisingly. Although who doesn't love silhouettes of naked women with guns? It's that bit in Notting Hill where it's Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers, and he's walking up Portobello Market, and it goes through all the seasons. Because I used to live in Notting Hill, and my dad wanted, of all things, to be in a Richard Curtis film. Be Richard Curtis, full stop. And it felt so like relevant and accessible to me because I lived pretty much adjacent to Portobello, and like fully believed that one day I would just turn around the corner with some orange juice and bump into a massive star and like break into communal gardens with them and
Sure.
say oopsie daisy. Yeah, absolutely that. And also the whole, honourable mention to The Whole of the Boat That Rocked, which I also adore.
I've never seen that movie.
You not seen it?
I've never seen it either.
I
I've never
love
seen
it.
By the
I love
Rocks.
it. I've seen it probably 5 times.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. Terrible reviews at the time.
I've got it. It's Staying Alive in Airplane.
Oh my god.
It's just great. It's just a great
I
moment.
just
and a great
anything.
scene. Again, it's very violent scene, but
So
Just
funny.
that movie. Just that
Infectious.
movie. That movie is
So
so good.
funny.
I love Airplane so much. That's
That's a
good.
fab movie. I mean, like, watching it again, you're like, whoa, okay, racism. But it's so good. Oh my god.
I was watching. I can never. Maybe this is really like. Oh, nice siren in the background there.
Yeah, it's
best,
love
best
that
moment in a
story.
podcast ever.
yeah.
I love
hashtag,
that
hashtag
siren.
life.
I was watching. It is the same actor who's in. I can't remember his fucking name. He's in.
What, the guy
he's
on
in
the-
Airplane, and he's also in Naked Gun.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. What's his name?
Is it?
Fucking Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that
I was
guy.
watching a documentary last night about really amazing documentary I can recommend about O.J. Simpson. It's called O.J. Made in America. It's
Oh,
like,
you were recommending this to me
yeah,
as well.
it's like 8 hours long. I've just finished the part 1 and 2, which is like 3 hours long. It's so good.
Did he do it?
And then it hasn't even got to that bit yet. It's like
Yes.
because I know nothing about O.J. Simpson.
Spoilers.
Really at all.
He gets out.
But like I know,
Shut up, Patrick! Stop spoiling history.
I know what happened, like what happens to him, but I don't know really
The
all the
facts and
intricacies about it. But it's just like it's so interesting. Like it's just about how he like transitioned to his like movie career, and then I was like, oh my fucking god, he's in The Naked Gun.
No.
He, like O.J. Simpson is like in the beginning. He's like a character in The Naked Gun, and he's so funny. He's like his timing is incredible. Yeah. Anyway, that's just what I remembered. O.J. Simpson is in The Naked Gun.
What a hill to die on, I mean.
Crazy.
That's really brilliant.
What else did I want? The OJ Hill.
Well, I great documentary. I can really recommend it so far. Won the Oscar last year for best documentary pitch.
No, cool.
Yeah.
So number 5. Question number 5.
Only on 5. Okay.
We're only on 5.
You've seen mine.
What?
Patrick's just a cheeky look.
No,
at my notes.
I can't read.
I can't read. Okay.
So
Stop taking my answers.
what is the best or your favourite Netflix original?
Wait, we haven't
We
done...
haven't done the trilogy.
No, question 5.
Oh no. I moved them around.
Okay.
Oh.
Mate, you could have warned us.
Mine, how about I kick... No, mine don't, they don't float.
So the best Netflix original, and it can be a series or a film.
I know Emil's, everybody. Emil's is Orange is the New Black.
It's true. I love Orange is the New Black.
Yeah. It is a fantastic show. And we talked about this the other day. It is a fantastic show. It did get a bit, like, I think once it got a bit far-fetched with the knicker ring,
Yeah.
then I think I just slightly, I don't know, I think it was so, the people outside, I just stopped caring about them so thoroughly.
Yeah, it's true. They realise how boring they are as well, and they cut, they just
cut
like
them out.
stop.
What's his name? Larry or whatever, the
Yeah,
boyfriend?
Larry's such a
So
boring character.
boring.
I mean, I quite like the actor, but the character is the most like.
He's so annoying.
He's like what you think. Like whenever I think of like when people are are like
The
fucking
annoying
white
boyfriend.
people.
Yeah.
Like, I think of him. Like I think of I'm like, yeah, that's.
That's him. That's Larry.
Orange is the New Black is so good. It's like it's just because it's about. I don't know. It's a strange thing because it's really just about time and.
It's about women's prison.
And women, but I think it's it's literally
It's about women.
it's literally just about like the passing of time and women. It's how I've always seen it, and I think you get that from like the credits. Literally, the song is like about
Oh, it's amazing.
and you've got time, and it's just of women's faces.
Oh, it's so good. I
literally-
love the opening credits.
It's
of
so
that
good.
show.
So I think the thing is, it's just literally they have time to kill in prison, so it's just spending time with characters. When you love the characters so much, it's like, oh my god, Nikki, you're the fucking
Oh my
Don.
God,
I love you so
Nikki.
much. But then when you're like hanging out with characters you find boring, you're just like, oh, just fucking end. This scene
Yeah.
is so boring.
I remember Crazy Eyes. I remember being like genuinely terrified
Yeah.
by her as a character
Yeah.
early on. Because I mean, like, what the fuck are you supposed to?
She's so unpredictable.
She's so unpredictable. She's like a loose cannon.
Yeah.
And then getting a bit of her backstory and it every character becomes so complicated. Red becomes like this amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, she always is this incredible character from like day one. At whatever the hell the prison's called. What's it called?
Litchfield.
Litchfield.
Penitentiary.
Capital of Mercia. All those Anglo-Saxon fans out there. Litchfield, exactly. So yeah, Red's an amazing character, but I love the lady who has cancer, who then
Rosa.
who just does loads and loads of like bank heists.
Yeah. It's
That was
so
an
good.
amazing episode,
It's
and then
so
she.
It's so
That was
good.
incredible. I don't want to spoil it. That was amazing. It's not my
So
favorite.
sorry. Yeah.
but,
What is your pick?
I really I'm really sucking my teeth because I don't want to say Master of None. Screw you, Aziz. Yeah, it's probably Master of None, or it's because of the fucking pasta.
Right. I've never
love-
seen Master of None.
I love a celebration of food in a film is just a really, or in books or anything, it's a really wonderful, I really enjoy it. And because like a lot of, especially films with women, food is this joke. Like it's like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
I won't have that, I'll have a salad. And when you get to have that indulgence of like putting love into food, it's amazing. And I just love the Italy bit at the beginning of the second season in Modena. It's amazing. But also Kimmy Schmidt. Kimmy Schmidt gets almost purely for the running joke that all rich people like have blimps. I love that. I was like,
I don't even know what a blimp is.
it's Zeppelin.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
just like, oh yeah, I'll blimp that way. I'll blimp uptown. You never see them.
Sure.
And I love those sorts of invisible running gags. I
Sure.
think they're brilliant.
Huh. So Kimmy Schmidt. Is
Kimmy
it
Schmidt's
the
pretty good.
Unbreakable?
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It's got a very catchy theme tune as well.
Unbreakable. She's loved it.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great.
It's interesting. What you
Also
said-
about women in many ways.
Yeah, it's interesting what you're saying about food. Two things jump to mind about that in movies. First one is Blue is Warmest Colour, because that is like the big like. Have you ever seen Blue is Warmest Colour?
No, because someone was
spaghetti.
like, watch it, and then someone was like, oh, the director was a fucking.
The director is not fucking arsehole, but like it's their movie.
Yeah.
It's their movie.
Yeah,
Like
I will watch it.
you really like it.
I
don't you?
did. I
Blue
did.
is- You did like it, but you don't anymore.
Well, I haven't seen it for a while, but I loved it.
I was interested that wasn't one of your first four picks because I remember you saying to me when you see it like it was one of the most powerful like cinematic experiences of your life.
Yeah, I was. I just haven't really thought about it.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It's but the thing about food in that is like it's so like sexual. Like the
Yeah.
food is weaved
Yeah.
like the way they're
Well,
eating the spaghetti.
Because they're like, yeah,
like,
the scenes where they eat spaghetti are like way more impactful in terms of the sexuality than like the 7-minute sex scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like the most boring bit of the whole film for real. Like
Yeah.
it's so boring. And
We
I've
couldn't-
watched it with my dad. as
we
well.
shouldn't talk about food as sexual without an honourable mention to Call Me by Your Name.
Oh, yeah.
But this isn't the question.
It's that it's a similar motif.
It is
It's,
very,
it's
very small.
gorgeous. I mean, anything in Italy clearly just gets me. I'm just like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
up for it. Give me the spaghetti.
It's that's a really interesting. I didn't even think about that. It's a very interesting thing because it's very similar.
Yeah, it's also a bit like what I love about it in Blue is the Warmest Colour is the way the food and like becomes so much about like shows the different classes they're from and like
Sure.
how and like yeah the way she just like eats the spaghetti
It's
just
so,
like and it's just like it just makes you feel like she's not being filmed because you wouldn't do that if you thought you were being filmed and obviously they know that but it just is very like you just don't see people eat how people actually eat on
It's
on camera.
really true. It's just like the chewing, isn't it? The way she chew because they're like watching the telly as
Yeah,
well, right?
she's just
like
loving it.
She's just like it's so good. It's so good.
There's
That's what I
so
eat.
many films. There's this bit in the worst film I've ever seen, probably Shallow Hal,
Oh my god!
which is the worst,
Wow.
possibly the worst film. Full stop. But Gwyneth Paltrow, bless her, what an idiot. She's Shakespeare in Love aside. She is sort of eating like a hamburger, and he's.
Is this when she's in the fat suit?
No,
Okay.
it's Gwyneth Paltrow. And she's saying like, I can eat whatever I want and I just don't, my weight just doesn't change. And he's like, oh, I love a woman who can really eat. And it's like, this is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. Like, this is everything that's wrong with her, and then he's fucking rewarded at the end. It's so stupid, and it's like, oh, you're so lucky, fat girl, to have Jack Black. Oh, great! What a win!
It's a really like fucking like
And
dire film.
it's a dire
It's like
film.
the bit in the Burns victim unit.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I don't even remember
Yeah,
that.
so
bit.
it's meant to be a comedy, and they have a. Oh.
I think like that's one of like you know when you're younger, like you kind of just like every film sort of thing because it's
Yeah.
fun. That's one of like
The first
even
one.
when I was younger,
Yeah.
I knew that film was fucking atrocious.
Yeah. That was so bad. I
Shallow
don't know
Hal.
why. I think it was like, oh my god, School of Rock guy.
Yeah, I mean Jack Black is like
School of Rock.
It's just like School of Rock is the best. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
sorry, Patrick.
Schneeb.
What was your
Schnoobly.
your Netflix best favorite Netflix
It's
original?
the end of the fucking world,
Interesting.
which I just really liked.
Hmm.
I think just because it felt very. It felt like what TV shows that try to be edgy want to be, but just doing it as if no one had ever done it before, but in a way that didn't feel cliched. It was just like it just felt very fresh and very tight, and I really liked the 20-minute drama.
Yeah.
Because it was just like you're like, oh, this just I just don't have an attention span, so it just really helped that I could watch it, while I was having breakfast. But I thought the two leads are fantastic.
I disagree.
Have you
Go
seen?
ahead.
End of
I
Fucking World?
saw the first couple, maybe 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I found her really annoying. I found her so affected. So
But that's her
self-conscious.
character-
She was, I know, but she was
Yeah.
so child actory, and she's not even a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I
Jessica
couldn't tell.
Bardem is incredible. I love her so much.
See,
She's
well, I
great.
thought that her character, her whole point is that she's putting on being a psychopath, whereas
Yeah.
he is trying to pretend to not be.
Yeah, I think it was. I found that so annoying.
I think maybe it's because me and Emil have also seen her in a.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
maybe
saw
I
her
just
randomly in a
assumed
short,
she
like
was-
an NFTS short film,
Really?
Yeah.
where she is so good.
It's called Sweet Maddie Stone.
It's-
It's like it is on Vimeo. I found a Vimeo link. It's incredible.
And
Okay,
she's
well,
fantastic
you know
in
what?
those.
Okay, fair enough. I think I found it quite. I don't know. I didn't really care if it's being reductive about psychopaths. To be honest, not really a group that I want to have loads of representation about. But there's plenty of that. I just found it. Yeah, I felt like it was everything that all of the edgy stuff is trying to be, and then it was just
thin
also
line, I
trying
guess.
to be edgy. And also, they were British kids, but it seemed like it was set in America. Everything looked American.
Interesting. I found it very like quintessentially British.
Yeah, same.
I think like the I mean like this is not a spoiler. They travel around a little bit. Like you go to like different bits. Like past episode 3 they kind of like go to
Okay.
which is and it's just like very like it's something just so like it is the end
It's
of
like
the
it's like
fucking
going to
world.
like
it-
the gas petrol stations
Yeah.
that they go to. It's very like the people they meet in like the toilet.
Yeah.
It's very like
So,
British.
Where I've got to, they've not met anyone yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets like it. I think basically if you didn't like the first 3 episodes,
You're not
like
gonna
you're not
like
gonna
Okay,
like
fair
it.
enough.
But it's yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of. I think it was just I'd just seen Lady Bird, and I love the portrayal of like trying to put on this like teenage character of like I'm cool, really, I'm special, and I'm gonna go to New York, or whatever, and being like, yeah, I'm a rebellious teen, and it's like that's just not as good.
Sure.
And also, neither of them were likable at all. I felt.
Interesting.
I think I just empathized with the boy.
Yeah, he reminded me too much of myself. He's so Alex Lowther, man, is like my god, so
He's so good.
fantastic.
He is good. He
He
is
is-
really good. He seems so recognizable, and I couldn't remember what else he'd been in.
It's
He's-
the paedophile Black Mirror episode.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, we were talking about this the other day,
What
weren't
else
we?
has he been in there?
He was in he's the kid version of Benedict Cumberbatch in
Of course he is.
in
Sherlock.
no what's the fucking
No,
movie?
that's Stephen Moffat's
No,
son.
what's the fucking movie called?
Doctor Strange.
It's
I
really
haven't-
it's not a good.
fuck off.
No,
It's
I know
not
what
a
you
great-
mean.
Imitation Game.
Yeah.
He's
It's not.
so
He's
like
the best thing in
he
it.
steals that entire movie. He's just in flashbacks,
Fucking
and
hell.
he really is like
Wow, because that's crazy, because I've seen that, and
Yeah.
I don't remember him being in it, but I remember him.
he's like a lot younger in it, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Several years.
You know who is... You know what I saw recently that's a Netflix original, which was, like, kind of fine, and I watched all of it because I was kind of hooked on the plot, was Safe, which is the one about a murder in a... or, like, a missing person in a gated community in England. And it's got the guy from Dexter but he's playing like this British dad, and it's all in a British like kind of like one of those suburban gated communities, which
Yeah.
is like we all know each other, we're all maybe like everyone's slightly screwing each other, people have got a pool, all the kids go to school together, they're all really judgy.
Yeah.
And it was really kind of, what the fuck, the guy from Dexter is doing a really good British accent.
Sure.
And I get really freaked out when Americans do really good British accents. I'm like, no, it can't be true, it can't be true.
I've never seen an American do a good British
Well, yeah,
accent.
this is. I mean, there were flaws, but it was quite nuanced as well. It sounded
Wow.
like kind of Surrey-ish kind of accent or whatever. I was quite surprised. And now I've completely lost track of it. Oh yeah, shit, I know. It was Hero finds Tiffin, who played young Lord Voldemort in the.
So what was his name?
Hero finds Tiffin.
Wow, that is a great
So this
name.
is Ray Fiennes and Joe Fiennes' nephew.
Who's the best kid for the role, though? I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah, I know, right? And his I have friends of friends of friends of friends or something who know the family, and the siblings are called Titan and Mercy.
Wow.
So it's like, oh my god. But they so he that little kid grew up and is in SAFE, and is very 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 attractive.
Is he good?
He's good. Yeah, I mean he is good. He is really good. Yeah, he was good. He's gonna be one of the, because I imagine he's very posh.
Yeah.
He's gonna probably be one of those like, okay, yeah, he's the gonna just be in that kind of school of.
Tom Hiddleston. Eddie
I mean, I don't know if
Redmayne.
he'll be, because he looks a lot more unusual, because he's got a very kind of heavy like brow, and he's very
Okay.
kind of interesting. He's a bit more kind of Burberry model looking.
Huh. Okay.
But
I
yeah,
really like Tom Hiddleston.
he was like a tiny part in SAFE, and he was the best thing about it.
Oh.
I wouldn't like super recommend it, but if you want something that's like a plot
Mm.
driven kind of when are we going to find out what happened kind of thing. A lot of kids getting into trouble at parties. It kind of seems very unrealistic in the UK because it's like a swimming pool, like 2 cars, stuff like that. But it was actually really like quite compelling in a weird
Okay.
way. Yeah. So
Safe.
Safe.
Thank you very much. Cool. Okay, so next question, number 6, which I feel like I'm going to know both of your answers to before
Okay,
we
you say
it.
them.
The
Yes.
best trilogy of all time.
Oh, I know what Emil's going to say. What is, and it's not that. But go on.
Say it.
I feel like both of
Go
your
on, say
answer
it.
is going to be Toy Story.
No.
Oh my god, yes! I thought you were going to say Blood and Ice Cream.
Oh shit.
Because
okay,
I mean,
think
because
that is a trilogy. That's interesting.
Well, it is.
It
It's a
is
trilogy.
definitely a
But
trilogy.
it's 2 films.
But it's 2 films. It's a trilogy of 2 films.
Wait,
Because the
what?
third one didn't happen.
That one
We
don't
never.
count.
That one didn't happen.
Oh god, end of the world. Oh, it's not that bad.
Just not as
It didn't
good.
happen.
It's almost worse that it's not awful.
Yeah.
If it was awful, you could at least be like, well, they really changed it up.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting
It
experiment that
was
doesn't
pretty
go
bad.
completely
Why
right.
is Toy Story the best?
Toy Story. Why is it the best trilogy of all time?
Well, soon to apparently not be a trilogy.
We can
This
pretend.
answer is going to be dated.
This answer, yeah. For now.
People will look
I
back
wish this
and
was best sequel, because then I could just say Shrek 2. That's a fucking great film. That really revealed to me how shallow I am, because I remember being at the end, he's like, oh, he's an ogre again, this sucks. It was well, it was nice when he was a human. He was such a shallow kid, clearly. Toy Story, because you grew up with Andy, and like it's a wonderful concept, and it's also like something that I remember being quite a scary concept when I was a kid, like your toys coming alive. And it made it into this really heartwarming, like we all care about this kid.
Yeah.
And like the characters were really fun. You really feel attached to like the Slinky Dog and
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head and the little fucking aliens. Like they're great. The Claw, like they're amazing. And it's all just real, like it's all just based in the real world.
Sure.
And just this adorable, like happy, sweet, well-meaning attitude
Sure.
to something that's basically just real life. And also, I believed in fairies until I was like 12, like way too late in life. And so I absolutely love that kind of like letting that part, that kid imagination stay open for a little bit. And also like when Toy Story 3 came out and all the people who grew up with Toy Story went, and we were all just crying.
Yeah.
It felt like a really, like, it felt like a kind of graduation moment.
Sure. Do you have a favourite of the 3 films?
Probably one. I think Sid is such a scary character. And I don't like Jessie very much.
No.
Wow, what?
Yeah, I don't know why.
When
Because I feel like
somebody
it was,
loves you.
I think Jessie, yeah, I know. Jessie, maybe it's just me and my fucking gay agenda or something, but there was, like, Woody and Buzz had a really great kind of friendship, and, like, Jessie just seemed to get in the way.
Huh.
And then, yeah, at the end it was, and also at the end of Toy Story 3, she's like, yeah, I'm going to stay here with Buzz, and it's like, what? But he's not a cowboy.
Right.
Cowboys can only have sex with other cowboys. I mean, you ain't seen Brokeback Mountain, guys, clearly. Sorry. Yeah, Patrick?
I'm going to cheat and say... So my real answer is Lord of the Rings, but I'm actually going to say the behind-the-scenes featurettes of all of the Lord of the Rings are the best trilogy of all time.
Oh, that's so brilliant.
Wow.
Because I prefer watching... I could watch those documentaries just over and over again. Because I just always find like just the idea that they made Lord of the Rings is kind of better than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they had like just like
In New
100
Zealand.
horses and like they had 2 guys sitting for 4 years
I love this.
handcrafting chainmail,
Chainmail.
1 link at a time until their fingers like lost their fingerprints.
Yeah.
And because everyone,
Because they always needed more chainmail because it would always break.
Yeah.
and it's just like the story of that set to me is just one of the best stories ever.
Huh.
I think
Isn't
it's
that wonderful? Isn't it?
yeah,
Isn't
and also they're great films.
And also, why did they let The Hobbit be 3 films? Why did they? Shh.
I'm making a money gesture right now.
Let's make him.
Yeah, Hobbit's my favourite children's book.
This isn't an ASMR podcast. They can't hear you.
The,
Hobbit's a great. I mean,
Hobbit's such a
I
good book.
remember starting reading The Hobbit and being like, and then there are no girls, and then because I was a bit too old to start reading it, I think it was probably in my late teens. I was like, it was like when it was coming out, maybe. I was like, oh, I should read this before it comes out. It's meant to be amazing, and then I was like, they're all idiots, and there's no girls.
It's definitely for the under 10s. I think.
Yeah, I think I would have really loved it if I'd read it a bit younger.
they're 2 really succinct, great answers. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Get a little more personal now on
I
with
love
question
this
7.
I love this
What
question.
is your first ever like film like crush, or like who's the first ever person when you were younger that you fancied in a movie, like character?
Patrick?
Well, I've already said Donnie Darko. Probably Gretchen from Donnie Darko. I was just really sad when she died.
That's quite old.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I did.
You
I
went
didn't
like
really
5
fancy people
and
age 5.
fancying Nala or whatever.
I didn't conceptualize it in that way.
Oh, Nala.
Yeah.
Poor Nala. It's alright, Eddie Redmayne fancies Nala, it's fine.
Again, because I didn't really realize that people. I don't think I was able to allow myself to fancy someone until I realized they were an actor.
Oh.
Because when I thought that films were just real, I couldn't also imagine then meeting the person because it's like, well, they're in the film, so like.
Oh, why do you need them to be real?
Because surely, I was very logical about it.
Oh mate, I was so my answers are so illogical. My answers are the animated animal version of Robin Hood, the Robin Hood guy.
Yeah.
Fox. He's a fox,
Yeah.
and he was a fox. That was great, and it was before I'd learned the very acute British snobbery that I would develop, especially living in America as a young child, really hating any time Americans nicked something from us and sort of repurposed it. I was still in that kind of like, Robin Hood, woohoo!
Yeah.
Time, and Robin had an English accent and Marion did, but most of the others didn't.
Yeah.
And the fucking cockerel at the beginning who comes in with the banjo.
Yeah.
I loved that. And now I'm like, he's just like Southern or something. Like, he's not from Nottingham. It was so funny. But I really fancied him. I really fancied that fox. He was great. It was cheeky. I like that. And also the Peter Pan in the live action Peter Pan, who is
Oh,
also
wow.
inexplicably American.
Really? Wow.
that film. Ooh.
Not a fan?
I remember watching it at like a horrible sleepover,
Oh God.
and it just like
You know what? You didn't like it?
No.
I watched Spirited Away at a sleepover, and my parents had to come and get me from a different city because I was so sad.
Really, man.
It's not a happy ending at the end.
Well,
Spoilers
thing
for
is,
Spirited Away.
I was very, very homesick a lot of whenever I was away from home as a kid. And even when I got to camp when I was 12, or 13, I was really, really homesick. And I was in Miami, and my parents were in Palm Springs. I was visiting a friend of mine who inexplicably had a house in Miami. I don't know. It was really bizarre, actually. I haven't talked to her for probably since then, for good reason. But she was like, maybe we should watch Spirited Away. And immediately, the parents get turned into pigs. And I was just in floods of tears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's about being away from your parents. isn't
Yeah,
it?
the whole thing. And I was terrified. I was like, this is completely out of... So my parents had to, poor things, they had to wake up my brother, kind of put him in the car in his pajamas, kind of drive all the way. I never want to look up how far that is.
Have you watched the film since Spirited Away?
No, you know what? I tried to watch it recently with a friend, and it opened, and they got to the place where they eventually get to, and I was like, I can't watch this.
Really?
I still can't watch it.
It's
I mean, no. The thing is, I'd watched it before,
yeah.
so I have seen it.
Yeah.
But I watched it like at
It was
home.
just in that context.
And then being away from home in a different city that I didn't know, and also the person who was like babysitting us didn't speak English, so I was just fucking terrified. It was not fun. So Spirited Away, oh my god, I was so sorry.
The creature that eats everything. I think I probably had a crush on that.
I knew.
But it's just like it just knew what it wanted, you know.
Yeah, it's
You
like
wanted-
my crush is like,
Yeah.
you know, in that one deleted scene in Lord of the Rings,
Oh my God.
where like they're in Mordor and there's the guy who's like, you know, like with the whip, the orc.
Oh.
Can you what's yours, Emil? I want to know what yours is.
Mine, I have two. Mine is Katie from School of Rock, bass player. This is when I was really young.
Yes.
She was
Freddie
like,
from School of Rock
amazing.
also.
Yeah.
The drummer. He was 100% my type.
Yeah. Mine was, Katie from School of Rock. I really loved her. And I still, Becca Brown, I follow her on Twitter. She's really funny.
Aw.
She's great.
Cool.
And she's actually older than me, so it's fine.
You're
I was
cute.
like 10 when I watched it.
Yeah, and
So-
she was like 15 or
and
whatever.
she was
it
like
is, isn't
so,
it?
she's just
Yeah.
so cool and she plays the bass.
She was so cool.
And the other one is Mary Jane Watson from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man
Fair dues.
films. Because like
Wait. Played by
Kirsten
Kirsten
Dunst.
Dunst?
Yeah,
Kirsten
she was
Dunst.
so like in the first movie. Really, like I
They
loved
were
her.
Sam Raimi?
Yeah, there's Sam Raimi films.
I had no fucking clue about
which is
that.
really strange.
That's
Right?
so worth
well,
rewatching
that's
as well.
why they are so weird, maybe.
I rewatched the first one the other day, and it's so self-aware, and it's so like about stuff. You forget what superhero movies are like when they're really about stuff. You know.
What's it about?
Puberty.
It's just I mean literally. It's
I mean,
just
I
about,
love
like,
it. It's
growing
a
up and, like,
brilliant. It's Spider-Man. It's a brilliant, like, foil for puberty.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite that bit in
Yeah,
that
when
film-
like he's like wedding, and then like Aunt May comes
Don't
in.
come- don't
He's
come
like, don't come in.
That's the best thing. Exactly. And you know what? The only part of Captain America: Civil War that I liked, and I actually made a big deal of this at the time,
Yeah.
was when they're zooming in. They're coming into Manhattan or Brooklyn or Queens. I hate
Queens.
Queens. Of course. How did I get that wrong? And they're playing Left Hand Free by Alt J. And I
Does
thought
that
it was
happen?
the fucking funny. Yeah. They're zooming in his left hand free, and I thought it was the fucking funniest thing.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the film was bullshit.
It is the most talking about. I mean, this is interesting to talk about in context of like people you fancy, like characters you fancy.
Yeah.
Captain America: Civil War is the most sexless film ever made.
Oh my god,
So
I know.
grey.
It's
With that,
very,
and then
like,
really fucking forced, like, oh, you're my love of my life's niece.
yeah, it's very very.
Let
bizarre.
me, like, sterilely snog you.
It's like I don't know how
It's
like
awful.
I don't know how it. I mean, it's quite a feat to have Scarlett Johansson in a film and for it to be so sexless. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, cause
Yeah.
like
Well, that, I think thing I like about her is that she's not. There isn't.
Mark Ruffalo's pretty hot.
but they're all
Yeah.
really. I mean, you have like
They're all
Chris
really
Hemsworth,
attractive.
all really
people,
attractive, and
apart
it's
from,
so like.
Wait, is Hawkeye in that?
Yes,
I
he's not
hate
in the new
Hawkeye.
one.
I hate Hawkeye so much.
Oh,
I like Jeremy Renner.
I like Jeremy Renner.
He tries.
don't.
He turns up, you know.
Whatever.
He's never late.
So boring.
That's interesting. Anyway, Captain, I don't hate it as a movie. It's just not really a movie.
We watched it and we
Yeah,
really
we-
hated
we-
it.
we-
You guys saw it together.
We
I
watched
watched
it
it.
together.
I watched it again on Netflix before Infinity War, and
so
it's
much
really
worse
like
than Infinity War.
It is
It's-
worse than Infinity War somehow.
it's just like not really a product. It's just a thing. It's a product.
It's a product, yeah.
Okay, so next question. In the world of expanded universes and films, the slates of the sequels being announced before the movie comes out, and film report websites put in, will there be a third one before the movie
first one
has
comes out.
opened and everything like that? This question plays into that massively. Pitch a Star Wars spin-off film. We've just had Rogue One and Solo. What is your Star Wars spin-off film with a director and a lead actor?
So I sort of really tried to think about this, and I am of the opinion that we know too much about the Star Wars universe. Rogue One was brilliant.
Yeah.
Rogue One was probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I loved how everyone died at the end. That's the only time I'm ever going to say that in my life.
Spoilers.
Literally the whole world. But the last, yeah, all right, fine. That scene at the end is so gorgeous.
Yeah,
I've never
it is
seen a
gorgeous.
death scene that's more beautiful than that. And Patrick probably likes a lot more death scenes than I do.
I have so many deaths.
Exactly, there we go.
My first crush. Sorry.
Fucking hell. It was a corpse. Oh my
Corpse
God.
Bride is a sexy movie.
You know what is not a sexy movie is Warm Bodies with Nicholas Hoult.
I haven't
Oh.
seen that.
It's
I'm not
so
planning to.
No, I'm not into it.
I love zombie movies, and that was so bad. Anyway, so what I came up with was I really liked the kind of quiet kind of you can't really work out what the relationship is between Cassian and who I haven't made out with just because he's called that. Although in real life, who knows? Yeah, Cassian and Jin. It was beautiful, that bit where it's just like they're standing silently in like the like a train carriage or something. I can't remember what it is, like a kind of weird bunkery thing, and the lights are going over them, and they're just completely silent. It was gorgeous, and they kind of know what's going to happen, and there's like no explicit word about what they feel about each other, but it's just like, you're the best people ever, oh my God.
Yeah.
And they've come on this journey together and everyone's died. But I really like Rogue One, so I was like, okay, I'm going to run with that. And I really liked Galen and Lynn, so her parents.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen was like, he's such a Star Warsy guy.
Yeah.
That it was, so some people just have like Star Wars faces.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, of course Mads Mikkelsen's going to be in Star Wars. And I really like that. So I think maybe I'd do something with them when they were younger.
Yeah.
I don't really remember whether they showed that in the film.
No, there was like a little
Really?
flashback
Yeah,
to like
it
a
was
party
yeah,
event
yeah.
happening.
A
So
second.
Yeah.
I think I would do that. I would expand that. And the only other things I've written down are Ang Lee. Because
Wow.
why not at this point?
Love it. I love
If
it.
Yeah,
Taika Waititi's doing Thor, Ang Lee can do Star Wars.
I'd
Life
wow.
of Pi was
I'd,
great as
I'd
well.
fucking watch. I'd
Yeah,
watch
right,
Ang Lee
right.
Star Wars film.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah,
It'd
yeah,
be great because I was like, if what I love is all of the like romantic tense silences, why not get the guy who did fucking Pride and Prejudice or
Yeah.
whatever? That wasn't him. That was Sense and Sensibility. That was Joe Wright.
And like Brokeback Mountain as well.
Brokeback Mountain.
Also,
exactly.
Joe Wright's terrible.
Joe, shut up. Yeah, true. Fucking downhill. I actually wrote.
Darkest Hour.
I said in my reaction to yeah, true. Oh my God, why do we keep casting Lily James in things? She's great, but what? In my notes for the second question, the one about who will be studying in like 50 years time, I wrote it will be boring if we study Joe Wright.
Wow.
I hope that no
God.
one ever says his name.
Do you really dislike
I hope
him
he's
that
scrubbed
much?
from the annals of history.
You didn't like
really?
You didn't like Atonement?
I haven't seen Atonement.
I loved
The
Atonement.
best thing he's ever done, I think, is the Nosedive episode of Black Mirror.
I didn't know he did that.
I was
Yeah.
fine.
That's like the in my
I was like,
thing.
well,
I watched
anyway,
loved Atonement.
let's not get into Joe Wright's.
So the other thing I wrote down, so I've got Ang Lee, Galen Lenaso, and Rihanna. That's what I'm pitching.
and Rihanna.
Yeah, I want Rihanna to be in it.
Nice.
It's about time.
Oh my God, she was the best thing about Ocean's 8.
She was the best thing about Ocean's 8. She's also, I reckon she could be a great Star Wars character. She's got so much charisma. She'd be a great, like, either, like, really fascinating villain.
Yeah.
Definitely a Sith Lord.
Definitely is okay. I actually haven't seen the prequels because I want to keep my view of Star Wars.
Prequels are great.
Watch
Anyway.
the prequels. We love the prequels.
So
They're
yeah,
great movies.
that's my pitch. Ang Lee, Galen Lin Lasso, Rihanna
Huh, that's really interesting.
in the ballroom with lead piping.
That's
Sorry, bad joke. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I hate all of the new Star Wars movies apart from Rogue One.
Yeah.
But anything, all of the new canon, I hate it and I think it should be destroyed.
Yeah.
Which is probably my most right-wing view. But that's not, I don't hate them because of the normal reasons that people give.
What are your reasons?
My reason is because I wanted to direct the new Star Wars movies when I was 10.
Oh.
And they've taken that. I can never do that now. So I would want to direct an alternate canon based
this is-
on...
this is- Wow.
Let me finish. Based on the expanded universe series of novels, New Jedi Order, which is about 20 novels about an invasion of an alien race into the Star Wars universe and how Luke and Leia and Han and their children deal with this alien invasion. And I love those books, and I think they make great movies. There's like the middle bit where they lose basically, and Coruscant falls, and it's just like I loved it, and I think that the
Patrick
new
loves
movies
it
are
when
terrible.
bad things happen.
Well, the new movies are shit, and this would have been great.
well, isn't it just like these books don't have to like do the nostalgia thing?
They don't. They completely go in new directions.
do
because they're
interesting
just
things.
and they talk about the past because it's still like Luke and Han and
Yeah.
Leia, but the children are way more interesting, and it's a great series. If I read it now, I'd be like, this is trash, but
So who's cast?
I don't know. I didn't think.
Wait, so who are the characters in it are? So it's Luke, Han, and Leia.
Han and
then,
Leia have had kids.
But they aren't Adam Driver.
No, they're not Adam Driver.
God.
Yeah, so one of them they name Anakin. The youngest one's named, and he dies
Oh
on
my
a
God, this
suicide
is Harry
mission.
Potter all over again.
And it's like it broke my heart. He sacrifices himself as like a 16-year-old to like save the galaxy, and they still lose. And like the aliens like send like refugee ships into Coruscant's atmosphere to destroy like the planetary defenses, and like hundreds of thousands of people die, and the like government like, and then they go on. Then it's like, oh, it's just great. It's
who'd you get to direct it?
me.
Him, he would get.
Oh yeah, but apart from you.
No, I'd do all of them. No, actually, I'd maybe I'd hire Ryan Johnson to do the first one and then fire him.
Yes, I love it.
Wow, really?
I love it.
I didn't like The Last Jedi.
I know. Okay, so what that sounds like though is the moment in The Last Jedi. Last Jedi spoilers. Everyone's fucking seen it. But the moment where he holds out his hand and says, "Just join me, and we'll just start."
That was one of the best moments in it.
That
and
was
then
the best
nothing
moment.
happened with it.
And then they don't do
Yeah.
it. It sounds
It
like
does that because it does all sorts of crazy stuff, and
Yeah.
it goes a bit off the rails towards the end. But
Who would you like to cast in it?
they kill Chewbacca in book 1,
What?
and that's like
Wow.
a good death. Better than like you don't kill like Han Solo, you kill like Chewbacca,
Yeah.
and, and he's
Yeah.
like trying to. It's
Don't
great.
kill Han. Also, like you kill Han and then you try and make a movie about his past and cast someone with. I mean, bless him, he was fantastic in Hail Caesar, but he's not Harrison Ford.
He's
And
not
that's-
Harrison Ford. That was the biggest
Harrison
problem.
Ford wasn't Harrison Ford.
Yes, he fucking was. Han Solo is. I didn't watch any Star Wars movies until like 2016, at all. And suddenly I had to kind of redo the timeline of my life, populating it with like Star Wars memories. And Han Solo, like, he's just the most amazing character.
I meant in Force Awakens.
Oh no, yeah,
in-
fuck that, I don't
yeah.
care.
Do you mean he's not Harrison
I mean,
Ford?
yeah, it's like
He's old
yeah.
Harrison Ford, so it doesn't matter.
No. Interesting.
Whereas Carrie Fisher, still Leia.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. R.I.P.
Apart from
man.
when she
R.I.P.
floats through space.
I loved that. I loved it.
loved it.
I loved that moment.
Because it was like, yeah,
was
remember
this
she's
is
got the
great.
Force, yeah.
I was like, this is really great. The one.
You're such a fucking fanboy.
I
am.
The most convincing
proud.
argument I've heard against. The whole critic just wrote this huge piece about it, which I haven't read yet, but it looks really interesting. Did you read it?
Yeah, it's good, but like, just kind of like 10,000 words that say nothing.
Huh, interesting. Because he doesn't usually do that. Do you know how film critic?
No.
He's like really like he just writes.
He writes
like,
in all caps, but like really good film criticism. So it sounds like the Hulk is just like.
Oh my god, okay, that
It's
makes
really
sense.
funny.
That
Although he doesn't
sounds
write in caps
hilarious.
anymore, which I think has made him less good.
Interesting. He has one of the best Twitters as well. Best film Twitters. Interesting. Huh. That sounds like a really like epic scope.
20 movies, me. Yeah.
But who would? Okay, but
20?
say you can't direct it. Who would handle that scope and that kind of vision?
Christopher Nolan. He wouldn't want to do it. I forced Christopher Nolan to direct 20 Star Wars movies. And he can't get out of it, and he has to do them, and he hates every
He
single one.
signed the Kesha contract.
Yeah. Oof.
Wow.
Wow.
What?
It's true. Yeah.
But because he's such a craftsman, he would still like try hard.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I do.
Cool. That's good answers. Okay.
Tom Holland as Anakin Solo.
Oh, Tom Holland does everything.
Interesting. Cool. I've heard he's a really nice guy as well.
He seems
I have
it.
a friend of a friend, and like apparently he's like his dad kept him really down to earth.
His dad is a stand-up comedian.
Oh
Who
really?
used to do? They're from Devon, and he used to do like local school, like kind of whatever
Yeah.
events, stand up. And he has this whole routine about how his son is Spider-Man, and he used to just be like this little kid doing Billy Elliot.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it's just this. He's just this wonderful. Also, like I was slightly changed forever when I saw the Umbrella
That's great.
lip sync battle. Like it was so good. It really something changed in me when I saw that. It was amazing.
Brilliant.
Similar to the Anne Hathaway Wrecking Ball one, which was also incredible.
Oh yeah, that was really good. I've seen that. Okay, so number 9. This is the last. I switched these last questions around as well. So, what is the best cinema you've ever been to? And that can be like abroad or here. Just like the best cinema, which like added up to a good experience.
The Gate in Notting Hill Gate for me is wonderful. It's like it's kind of where I go with my parents to stuff, and it shows a lot of unusual things and old stuff as well. But we'll also have it kind of, because it's only one screen. It played the Isle of Dogs for quite a while, and that was great. We went to see that, I think, and that was delightful. It's quite a family kind of oriented cinema, and just really sweet picture house. Yeah, really fond of it. And the big sort of, a very accessible cinema is the Picture House Central,
Absolutely.
which is just a great place.
Wonderful.
I like BFI. It's £3.
You know what? That was a good point.
And it's really, really nice screen.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess that's a short question. Just go to the BFI and the gate. Okay, so the last question, number 10. What's a film right now in cinemas that you can recommend to go and see, or something that's coming out very soon that you're looking forward to seeing?
I just saw Sicario 2, Day of Soldado, I think.
Which is Hitman, Day of the Soldier.
And I actually loved it. I didn't like the first one very much, but then this one was just like really fun.
What have you got against Emily Blunt, man?
No, Emily Blunt's great,
What's
but
your
she was like used as if to say like, oh, this movie doesn't need to just like. I don't think she was given much to do. She was like the audience surrogate, and this time they were just like, no, we're just gonna have a like right-wing fantasy, and it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
But just like it was just like it felt like a very traditional film. It felt like a film from the 40s, in the sense that it was just like survival and like traveling across the desert, and I just enjoyed
Did it feel
every
like a
minute.
Western?
Yes,
There we go.
but yeah, I'd recommend it.
Right-wing fantasy, how so?
Well, like men with guns shooting people on the border. No, it's that idea of these grizzled people who will solve our problems, do the things that liberal politicians are too cowardly to get done.
Huh.
Which,
Did you say lily-livered? Is that
Yeah,
right? Is that a
totally.
fine
The what,
thing?
sorry?
Sometimes these things you find out it's got some horrible. I don't know what nonce meant the other day.
Hopefully
You
not.
never know.
Hopefully not for
Lily-livered? I don't know. I actually don't know.
It's
what
just
that
like
means.
something.
lily-livered liberals.
Yeah, it's
That's interesting. I mean, does that... Because from what I know of you, that doesn't align with anything you think normally. So is it interesting to
I think if
watch
you
a-
want to go own the libs this weekend, then Sicario 2, Day of Soldado
Oh my God.
is my recommendation.
Cool. Thank you very much. Cassia.
I think the only thing that I've seen that's recent enough to still be in cinemas is Ocean's 8. And I really enjoyed it. I love a heist movie. I love women. I love Rihanna, clearly. And it was predictable and sort of the scale felt very small and no buildings totally shattered. Like in Ocean's 13, the scale was quite small. But I love the idea behind it. I love the idea of the Met Gala because it's such a great sort of like it's like a really exciting event of the year, and to be kind of subverting it's quite fun. It just fucking heist movies. I love it. I mean, it didn't follow the kind of I didn't have nearly enough of a sense of like, oh my god, this is all going to go wrong.
Sure.
Which you really should
apart
have.
from the magnet.
Because literally
minute.
nothing goes wrong at all. And James Corden should... Why?
So I saw a good tweet that was like, the moment James Corden appeared on screen was the worst moment of my entire life.
That was Leah Reich.
It's a great
It was
tweet.
Leah Reich. It went fucking viral as
That's
well.
a really is a good
But
thing.
he also pointed out that he would sit through... he said 7 hours of carpool karaoke for 0.2 more minutes of leather-clad Blanchett, which is, totally fair. She was amazing. She didn't have nearly enough to say.
She didn't have much to do, did she?
No, but she was great.
That
This-
one scene where she's like, don't do a job in a job, and then she never brought it up again.
Yeah, exactly.
The cinema, though, like, so me and Patrick saw it last night. The screening room we were in, everyone loved James Corden. Like,
People
that
do.
was
There's a
literally...
couple sitting in front of us who
People
were
do.
talking all the way through it as well.
And then they just,
And
they
just
like,
lost their
they
minds.
laughed at James Corden so much. They were just like,
We're out of
loving
touch,
it.
Emil. We're out of touch.
Yeah,
I know,
maybe.
I miss Smithy. What happened to that?
I like
What
him
was
as
their
a person,
sketch show
but-
called? The like him and the other guy.
Oh,
I think it was just Corden and
Yeah.
Horn and Corden.
I remember watching that.
Horn and Corden. That was terrible.
They made a movie called The Lesbian Vampire Killers.
I fucking think I watched that. I actually think I watched that.
You just think, how did Patrick open a beer so close to the mic? I really love
Yeah,
that.
all those
noise.
ASMR viewers still
That's
hanging
like-
on.
Yeah, that's. Oh
my God.
so crispy. Okay, I think that's actually a really nice place just to end. So, do you guys, before we finish, do you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
I just quickly, you did say what film are you looking forward to coming out soon?
Oh, and yeah, please, yeah.
Mamma Mia 2 is coming out on the 20th. And like, oh my god, I almost cried watching the trailer.
Oh wow.
I'm so excited.
Wow.
I'm just so
My
excited.
mum loves the first
My
one.
mum went to see it twice.
Damn.
Bless her heart. I watched the trailer with her because it was a real moment. And yeah, it's just like, who isn't... So I just love it. I mean, I was really concerned at first. I was like, they've run out of ABBA songs. Like, ABBA Gold, they've used the extent of it. They haven't, and they're going to bring a lot back.
Damn.
So, I mean, another example of Lily James being inexplicably cast in
Oh
things.
dear.
I have not seen the trailer for Mamma Mia 2, so
I
maybe I'm
don't
going
know.
to check it out.
Oh, it was heaven.
Patrick,
Just watching the trailer
do,
was
do you have,
uplifting.
do you have one that you want to recommend that's coming out soon?
I want to recommend Emil's documentary.
Oh, shit,
which
yeah.
is
Oh.
just been released on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's very, very good.
She's such a sweetheart.
In style of Red Letter Media and Michael Moore, and it's very entertaining.
It's really funny.
I'm doing a salute right now to Patrick. Like a British army salute,
Not like a
not like a Nazi
Klingon
salute.
salute.
podcast.
I'm doing like, yeah.
It's fine.
Thank you very much. That's very, very sweet of
That
you.
was brilliant, actually.
Thank you.
What's
That's-
your channel called?
My channel is just called Emil Burgoyne.
Okay.
Do you pronounce it Burgoyne?
It
Not
is
Burgoyne.
Burgoyne.
Oh my god.
But it's Burgoyne. My name is actually Emil as well.
Emil Burgoyne.
Yeah, that's
So it's
true.
not iambic in the slightest.
It's not. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. No, that's cool. Okay, well, thank you. Do you guys have anything you want to plug before we finish?
I've done my plugin.
Done your plug-in?
Plugged hard.
Plugged hard? Cassie Price, anything you want to plug?
No, I don't. We're Looking Jones Series 2.
We're Knockin' Jones Series 2. So
Shit.
these motherfuckers made this lovely, beautiful comedy detective show set in the
I've been
streets
called
of
a
Cambridge.
motherfucker before in my life.
it's,
This is so
it's
lovely.
like When Knockin' Jones calls for it. It's a really brilliant web series. I'd really super recommend it. It's really lovely. I wrote a little thing about it where it kind of it doesn't view it views all of the characters as equal, which is so rare in anything you watch, that everyone is treated with the same dignity. And that's not to say that everyone is treated too seriously. It's just that everyone is laughed
Not
at.
true.
Everyone is laughed at the same
Yeah,
amount, you
yeah.
know, which is like a very refreshing thing, and it has a very like beautiful view of the world. So I'd really
Yeah.
recommend Wenlock and Jones. You get to love the two leads, who are Enrico
Two of the
Halworth.
most good-looking people.
They are two very supremely beautiful people.
Yeah.
Enrico Halworth and
Dolores Carbonari.
Dolores
Two of the best
Carbonari.
names. As
Two of the
well.
best names as well. It's just a really wonderful. It's a really, really wonderful series. So eight episodes.
Yep.
8 episodes, kind
5
of
minutes each.
5 minutes each. Yeah, it's surprising in how short a time you get invested with these characters. Shout out to Patrick Siller as well, who is
Oh my god, yeah.
a really beautiful little cameo. Well, more than a cameo, really.
He's
He's like a main
He's a supporting
character.
actor, yeah.
Just graduated as well.
Really, shout out to the graduation,
Yeah,
Patrick Siller,
his,
if you're
is it
listening.
Zadie or Zadie, his music channel. Have you
can't
seen it?
remember.
Okay.
We can plug that as well.
Yeah, I'll plug
Patrick
that.
Siller.
So Patrick Siller's an amazing guy.
Yeah, we'll just plug Patrick Siller. Wonderful.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you for listening. If you've made it this far through to
God.
Pictures with
Yeah,
Love.
it's now dark.
It's
so.
now dark and we start when it was light. Cool. I hope you'll have a good one. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Lots of love.